Oh yeah, I think we're live now. Can someone hear me? This time I'm doing it from my laptop and not from the phone. Excuse me because I had some interruptions before. Let's see. Yeah. How's it going, everybody? I am live for the second time, and this time I messed it up. I don't know what really happened. I tried to do it from my phone like last time, but I couldn't. So, let's see. Um, don't know what I did, to be honest. Was capturing everything from my phone. I don't know what happened. So I'm sorry if someone else is waiting on the other one. Uh, King of the Table 2, guys. King of the Table 2. It was amazing. It was very good. Um, let's start from let's start from the press conference. What happened on the press conference? So the press conference was more an attention of Devin Larrett and John Brasink. My buddy, what's up, champ? I'm good, mate. I am very good. The lights, how are the lights? And the reason is much more work to do. Yeah, we will get to that. We will get to that, buddy. So, what happened in the press conference? Supposed to be um, more on attention on John Brasink and Devin Larrett. They was the center of attention, but something came up along, and I think everyone knows what is it. But let's keep it for a few minutes time. So Devin was playing mind games, really good at it. He is his IQ of playing mind games is one of the best. I am from the second floor. It's my fiance, guys. She's watching it. She is watching my life. So thank you. um, and John Brasink was was doing quite good as well. And Devin got everyone's attention, and apparently got even Hermes Gasparini's attention. So what really happened there is that instead of the press conference was how it was scheduled, like Devin and John, it was more on Devin and Hermes Gasparini. And instead of Hermes was taking care of Gennadi's, and Gennady was taking care of him. They were like it's not they weren't fighting, but I know that Hermes Gasparini wants to fight Devin really bad, and he won't stop until he tastes some of Devin's power. Yeah, so there was some things going on. Like to be honest, Devin did not mention one time Hermes. I think it all started from when there was a super chat of a guy and who said why you never compete in Europeans, or why you never challenge someone from Europe, and Hermes Gasparini just answered that because he's afraid of losing, and there was from where it all started. And yeah, we've seen Hermes Gasparini taken really serious. It was, I think that he had a guy who was translating because I understand Italian very well, and he wasn't translate. He was translating good, but there was sometimes that he was more exaggerating when he was translating. You remember, guys, when he the other guy translated and he said, "So shut up at at a minute." Hermes never said that. Because shut up, it means or stai zitto, just like be quiet, or chiudi il becco, it means shut your mouth, and he never said that. So I don't know, maybe because we wanted to make it more interesting. Could be, yes. Um, uh, and Devin, to be honest, and that was another thing, because not just Devin, because Hermes said in the past years, not the past just 2 years, in the past years, none of the um, North Americans have beaten Europeans. And to be honest, that is not good. The reason is because in that seat where he was sitting just few seats away, there was a guy. His name is John Brezink, and he won in every tournament and every competition there was in his time when he was active, and he beat it all, nearly all the Europeans. So to me that was like you not respecting the goat of arm wrestling. So but but let's let's carry on and not mention that. um, but then some other guy asks some questions about Levon, and yeah, there was when Devin said, "Yeah, I don't need to challenge you because I'm going for the biggest and the strongest, not just in Europe, but probably in the world." So, and to be honest, I would love to see Hermes Gasparini against Devin because that will be a very good match. But if I have to choose between watching Devin and Hermes and watching Devin and Levon, I would say I prefer to watch Devin and Levon. And it's 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 the best in Europe and the best in North America. They have to collide somehow. Yeah. Where and when, we don't know. I heard that Ryan Bowen said yesterday that it had to be yesterday that they had to collide. But what happened was it was scheduled for yesterday that Devin and Levon was going to fight each other. But since then, Levon got a role in a movie, and so that and in the meantime, Devin had planned to go against Thor, so he had to lose weight. And by the restrictions of Australia, because he was going to Australia, the movie got cancelled. And when the movie got cancelled, Levon told Devin that he is available again. And Devin said, "Oh, I cannot do it now, Levon, because now I'm committed with Thor and I'm losing weight and I can't go back." So and I think that's how John Brasink came up in King of the Table too. Most probably, we will see we will see Devin and Levon in King of the Table 3. I don't know when it's gonna be. I heard it's about April May, so it's 4 to 5 months time. So our wish is going to be a reality to see that. So let's see some comments here. So Oh, I think there are guys who are having a chat. Excited as fuck. What Devin, what, chance. Devin won't give Hermes a chance to get the hammer. I don't know. I don't know. I think that Devin is not concentrated on Hermes for nothing at all. I think that what Hermes is doing, I think he is trying to raise his name more than ever by climbing a bit up, always climbing a bit up. If I was him, I would do the same. 'Cause I am doing the same because I just challenged the world arm wrestling champion of under 80 kilograms, Bozhidar Simeonov. And I think that's what Hermes is doing. But what I didn't see in its place is that you are in a press conference, you are representing King of the Table too, and instead of calling out your opponent that you're gonna crush him, you just call someone else. And they were like doing marketing to others, to other like PAL and WAL in King of the Table, and that's something is not good. It was good to bring people attention and to to make people to bring tension between them. Yes, but in other ways, it wasn't good for King of the Table. In fact, even the commentator said something about it. So Jaime just got a notification. I'm training with the team today, and a few from London. Hi Gary, I recognize you now. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Um, if you don't know who is this guy, guys, this is Gary Brown from England. He is a very good wrestler. What is going on? All right. I don't think that Lavan was there. No, I know that he was in Dubai training with his partner Irakli. No, but I don't think he was there. I think he left already. So conference. Oh yeah. Um, Not sure internet trolls should be running question and answer in a conference. Yeah, man, but sometimes there are people who are gonna troll, and we need to be ready for everything. Most important thing is that we don't offend anyone and we don't say bad words. Otherwise, we can troll. They control how much they want. It depends how the athlete is gonna take it. So, who are the top five arm wrestlers in the world? To me, the top five arm wrestlers in the world, I'm not gonna say them accordingly, but I'm just gonna mention the top five arm wrestlers is Levon, Vitali, um, Devon, Hermes Gasparini, and Michael Todd. I know that maybe you can say that there is Alex Cordecha, but it doesn't mean that he beaten Hermes Gasparini made him in that ranking. Hermes Gasparini had the flu at the time, and I want to see him against a real giant like him, like Vitali or Dave Chafee. There are many arm wrestlers. There are many arm wrestlers that they can be considered. They can be considered um, in the top five. It's just if there is a, a level between them is really small. I don't think there is huge gap between the one and the other. So and there is Dave Chafee as well. There is Gennady. It doesn't mean that Gennady lost to Hermes yesterday. He doesn't. he doesn't belong in the top 10 at least. So how long can Levon be steroid and stay healthy? Is his size able to be maintained? I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what if he's taking something. I don't know. I really don't know. But what he's doing is working. If he is abusing, that that is the real question. If he is abusing, because I know already that he was 190 kilos around 2 3 years ago, and the doctors told him that you need to go down 20 kilos if you want to be healthy. That's why now he is 170 kilos. And we've seen Siplankov failing. I think his organs were failing. So abusive. If you're abusing from steroids, you can get power in short of time, but you will end up your life shorter as well. So Levon Vitali, Laret Kodachan Todd. Alright. So I want to see a tournament of top heavyweights soon. Come on. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, yeah. You can you can see a tournament like that in the WAF, but the WAF had just banned Georgia from it, and not much from the USA. North Americans go in WAF compete, so they had the chance. They had the chance if they wanted to. Gasparini versus Levon, who wins? Levon, Levon, 100% Levon. So I'm not saying that Gasparini is not strong. I'm saying that Gasparini is very strong against a person who is his same height, not just the height, the arm length. If there is a guy who has his forearm a bit a bit longer than Hermes will struggle. And Levon, I think the forearm of Levon is a bit longer. So yeah, he might have trouble. If you see one of my videos, the video I posted today, I've said what's gonna happen between Hermes and Gennady. And I know that Gennady is super strong, but let's get into this when we start talking about king of the table now. Because we're gonna start. And I will read. Scott, subscribe. Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much for the subscription. Dimitri Rubin can compete with the best. Dimitri Rubin has had an injury, a serious injury. I think he will skip next year. I heard that Devin didn't want to after pull with Hermes. Uh, No, it wasn't after pulling. The video I posted wasn't after pulling. It was in the press a day before the press conference. And the reason why he didn't want to pull with Aramis is there are two maybe reasons. One, or because he had the super match with John and he wanted to make sure that he will not get a bit injured or a bit tired, or it's because the contracts. So if if they after pool with us, if they after pool and we see them, there won't be that much hype that we see the super match then. So probably we is that. You forgot Kersten Prodigy. You forgot Kersten Prodigy in top five. Mm, Not even in 50 years, 100 years, buddy. I am too short to be in top five. Not even top 20. Because I am short. If I was at least 6'2", yeah, you can count me in. But not with my height. I am 5'9". Gasparini isn't that good, really. Yeah, he is good, man. He is good. Gasparini, in his move, he is really good. Gasparini struggles when he finds someone who has more length in his forearm, so he cannot close and do his move. If he doesn't do his move and he cuts this, the other person takes his hand, he's done because he is not a versatile arm wrestler. He cannot pull in the negative position. Everyone is strong when he is in his side, but when you are not on your side, you struggle. And Hermes Gasparini cannot do it. Gasparini got crushed 6-0 2 weeks ago, and yesterday beat a guy who hasn't pulled in 3 years. All right, so let's start talking about King of the Table because a lot of questions are coming up. And let's take the first match. The first match was Hermes Gasparini and Gennady Vigvinia. So 3 weeks ago, Hermes Gasparini lost to Alex Kurdacha. I already explained this in the other video, but I'm going to say it again in the live stream here so everyone can understand. So let's say that Hermes Gasparini and Alex Kurdacha are the same strength, are strong the same. But the disadvantage that Hermes had against Kurdacha was because Kurdacha was taller than him, way taller than him. And when Hermes was setting up, he was setting up knuckles high, so he used his back pressure, okay? But Kurdacha still was higher than him. And when you take someone's hand and neutralize his back pressure, Hermes lost this. When Hermes loses this, he's done. Okay? That's what really happened. And in fact, some of you can tell, like, but when Vitali after pulled with him, it was different story. Yeah, it was different story because after pulling is after pulling. That is the main thing that Hermes Gasparini needs to get into his head. That after pulling is after pulling. So if you scroll back, if you see the video where Hermes Gasparini went against Vitali, Vitali was setting back. He was having fair grip. So his arm was already opened because his forearm is way longer than his. And Hermes was straight and he was a bit open, so they come into the middle. When you are in a super match, you will never you will never give that advantage to someone. You will always try to go straight because everybody wants to win. So that's what happened even with Kurdacha. Kurdacha, he was staying tall to the table. That's it. What happened with Gennady and Hermes? So everybody was thinking that Gennady will smoke Hermes. I do not agree. And if you see the last live stream I did a week ago, you will see that I was correct. Gennady is super strong. He is very, very strong. Okay. And probably he is stronger than Kurdacha. Yeah. Physically, I think he's stronger than Kurdacha. He is lifting weights like like Levan or nearly like Levan. There isn't that much gap between them in the weights. But what was in favor for Hermes was Gennady's height. Gennady's height was in Hermes' favor because his forearms are like Hermes Gasparini or a bit shorter. And what I've noticed as well, even from when um, uh, Gennady was posting the videos of his training, is that his wrist is a bit weak. It's not that strong like we think he is, um, or at least it's strong, but compared to Levan or Vitali, he will lose it a bit. And Hermes Gasparini was strong, maintaining the back pressure, not letting him cup. And if you see all the rounds, it was back pressure versus back pressure. And to me, Gasparini was stronger there. That's what really happened. I'm not saying that Gennady is not strong, because in that moment, for his style, Hermes Gasparini was the candle on the cake. Cordacha, who do you think compared to Levon? Cordacha, what do you think compared to Levon? So, the only people that maybe can beat Levon are people who have who has longer forearms than Levon, and I'm saying like Devin, Vitali, Cordacha. These are all humans that they have longer forearms than than uh, than Levon. There is no way that someone can beat Levon at this moment with his same height. No way. And I think that this year, I really believe that this year, or maybe the next, I don't know when it's gonna be the next top eight. If Levon and Vitali collide, I think Vitali will give him a good run this time. First of all, Vitali is 10 kilograms heavier than than, than the last we see him in top eight, and not against Krasimir from the previous top eight of 2 years ago. He's 10 kilos to 40, 12 kilos heavier, um, and he's gonna be dangerous. I think he will take a win, if not secure all the wins, like 4-2. I think he will break Levon's record. Yes. So I had Hermes for two against Gennady. If you had Hermes for two against Gennady, you did good, man. So before the crash that killed his father, Andre Oleg Zok was the 1 point right to get Levon. He's 100 kilo less than him. Yeah, but it was left hand. I think Levon is stronger in his right. Devin might have good leverage, but he is nowhere near as strong as these guys. Yes, could be, but remember that Devin is 129 kilos. What if Devin shows up 140 plus like the other guys? That's what I want to see. And Devin is the only human being that, okay, there is John, who is the great of all time, the GOAT, and then there is another GOAT that he is Devin. Why? Because Devin can go everywhere. He can hook, he can top roll, he can press, he can kings move, he can do what he can use the back pressure, he can do everything. Name one arm wrestler who can do this in the elite and in the super heavyweight. Name one. There's no one but Devin. So Vitali is strong, he can hook, he can top roll, yes, but he cannot press. It's 100%. He cannot do the king's move. To do the king's move, you need to train for the king's move, like they are doing. Kersten, Georgi Zeskov is almost on the kilo and still can beat Hermes, Vitaly, etc. I don't know. I don't know. I need to see it because Georgie is an animal. Georgie is an animal. All right. It's better and smaller, poorer than all these guys. Yeah, Devin is shorter. Is a bit shorter. Yeah, Devin is a bit shorter than Vitaly and Kurdacha. It's a, from Vitaly is like 2 to 3 inches, and Kurdacha is like 2 inches, 1.5, 2 inches. Uh, okay. I think Levan's weakest point is inside. No way to top roll him. So hold on. Who is this? Fake the boss. Okay. So if you go back and see 2 years ago, top eight, Levan was losing his wrist all the time against. He lost it against Dimitri Trubin. He lost it against Ongarbayev. Ongarbayev literally opened him up, and he's a tiny little guy. I think if there is someone who can maintain him in that position, okay, and he will drain him out because he is too big, so it takes longer for him to inflate, okay, but then it takes him too longer to deflate. So yeah, if someone will take Levan's wrist and hold him there, I think the perfect match is Michael thought for that. That is a really good match. Even though that Michael lost to Devon, doesn't mean he cannot win against Levan. Because Levan never felt the pressure of a King's move. And believe me, guys, if you don't know how to handle a King's move, you might fail. So let's jump in the second match of Larry Wheels and Brandon Allen, where there is the King's move. So Larry Wheels was favorite. He was doing good. He was training hard. He he was doing really good, and he was training with top athletes like Levan, Michael Todd, Hermes Gasparini, Devin. We've seen a video recently against Chance Shaw, and we all know that Chance Shaw is a very good and strong athlete. He did nothing. Okay, that's an afterpool, but when you compare yourself with an afterpools, it's still a good thing. And I think that the problem with Larry wasn't lack of strength. I think the problem with Larry was the King's move. Because as I said before, if you don't know how to tackle a King's move, you are done. And in the first round, when we see the first round of Larry and Brandon, he they slipped and they went for the strap. He was still fresh, so he could side press him and press him. But from second round, he was starting to lose his wrist. And when you start losing your wrist, it means that your forearm is pumping up, and you can't hold him. And to be honest, in my opinion, and I don't have that much experience in arm wrestling. I have just 4 years, but locally, I never met someone professional. But how I see it, because I can see very good in arm wrestling, at least. But how I see it, to defeat a King's move, you don't need to try to press, you don't need to try to cup, you don't need to try to hook. Just a top roll. If you maintain the height and hand control when the other guy is trying to go out and he finds you with a wall, when he's trying to roll, he won't roll. But if you try to hook, he will open your wrist because you will force in your forearm to go inside, and that's what causing. Honestly, you will open your own wrist because your wrist will be tight with the strap. He's going out, and as soon as you go inside, you start losing your wrist. So honestly, the King's move is just a normal move that works against you because you open your own wrist. The only way that you can win against someone who has the King's move is to stay there, maintaining the height, and always trying to slide. You don't need to try to cup. always try to slide, and then you pull him back and top roll him. Because I tried this with my mates, and there was a guy who has a really good king's move. That's why that's why I think I know how to handle it. And if you see Devon in King of the Table One, you will confirm what am I saying. Brandon won like an amateur. He was stronger. He cheated the whole period of time. And wrestling is to keep your arm closed, not open. That is why King's move is cheating and the amateur. Man, I don't know. You can have your point. You can disagree with the King's move. Most of your wrestlers disagree. They disagree because it's hard to beat, and for me, it's fine. The King's move is fine as long as it's legal in arm wrestling. It's fine. It's like when you are watching a soccer game and there are two teams that this team is making this team bleeding and they had many more chances to win and they ball possession was more on them like 70-30, but they will lose with the penalties. Tell me, is it legal? If it's legal, what can we do? So, Sarah Bachman and Karazi Kostadinov have said it. Yeah, yeah, probably. Because there are many arm wrestlers who don't agree with it. Many. In fact, Krasimir doesn't like top roll. He always hooks. So yeah, it's just an opinion. It's just an opinion. I'm not saying that you are wrong or you are right. I'm not saying anything of that. But it's an opinion of the individual to like the King's move or not. Honestly, if someone tried to King's movie, I won't like it because I will need to work smarter. But it's part of the game. As long as it's legal, as they are following the rules, um, it's okay. Arm wrestling is a strength sport. King moves is cheating, and if Chief Hutchings stronger than Devin, and they've inflated his arm. Things has been due to WAR rules. I think that Devin is using the King's move to show the world that he can pull everywhere. It's not because. So what the King's move does, I already explained, but it's like an open top roll. And to me, the strongest move in arm wrestling is a top roll. Why? Because in a top roll, you will still be strong. But if your opponent is 100% strong here, when he's here, he's 50% strong. So that's why a top roll makes it more interesting. In fact, Dave Chafee has always beaten Devon. This time he couldn't when he used the King's move because he's strong here. From here straight to here, he's very strong. But from here to here, he will start struggling. It needs to be banned. I don't know if the federations they agree that it has to be banned, so it has to be banned. But it's like you were saying that a top roll has to be banned as well, because sometimes a top roller, well, especially he uses low hand top roll, okay, and someone's trying to go down, you will end up when you are in a top roll, right, and you are using specially not the posting top roll, because posting top roll you end up like this, the low hand top roll, okay, and someone tries to press you down, and if you just try to hold him, you end up automatically in a king's move. It's just the mechanics of the king's move then. You don't need to hold him, just release and start working with your fingers. So you maintain the pronation here. So if the king's move will got banned, I think that most of the arm wrestlers who are top roll will have problems. So, and yeah, that's what happened to Larry. I think that Larry needs to. He's strong. He's really strong. He's getting there. It was heartbreaking to see Larry losing because after all, he's uh, he's the organizer of King of the Table too, and I would love that he would win. It's not because he's the organizer, but he's really working hard, and he's really not working hard just for himself, for the arm wrestling community. He's working really hard, and I believe that he's trying to make the arm wrestling an Olympic. And if that really happens, it will be good for arm wrestling. A lot of sponsors will get involved, a lot of money will get involved. Even athletes they can do it as a primary job, like boxing or MMA. He's trying to work in that way, and I would really love that Larry will nail it off next time. So what Larry needs is to keep on sparring, to keep on training, and sometimes I see him a bit stubborn. It's like it's like he's not letting his arm flowing. Um, he, I think he's really stiff. He need, obviously when you have all the world watching you, and it's your second match, your second super match ever, you will have tension. So that's kind of normal, and especially when you go with someone who has the king's move. I believe that if the game was in a hook, Larry would have won with flying colors like 6-0. But unfortunately, it wasn't like that. It it happened to be a king's mover against him, and the king's move, as I said, is very technical move, and you don't have to to try to cup it and hook it because you will end up busting your own wrist. It's not because the king's move is busting you are busting your own wrist. Uh, yeah, better luck next time, Larry. I really would love that you will nail it next time. Right. Great guy. Yeah, he is a phenomenal guy. Well done to Brandon. He was smarter and did what he had to do. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. Brandon was smarter. Yeah, Brandon was smarter and he did what he had to do. As long as there is the King's move in arm wrestling and you are able to use it, you can use it, and there is no shame about it. In fact, Brandon won, and yeah, he works smart. He works smart. In fact, um, there was a round who was holding him, and they got a restart. And when you got a restart, and when you are struggling trying to pin the guy, and you have a restart, so it means that you need to do it again, and you will guess out again. So the next round you won't have any stamina left. So yeah, Brandon worked it really smart. He was like, I think he's new to arm wrestling as well. Not it's like compared to Larry, but he was smarter. He was really smarter, and I liked the match how it was. I didn't like the result because I was in favor with Larry because after all he's doing a lot for the sport, but unfortunately one will win and one will lose, and that happened to be Larry for the loss. Okay, and he got 2 rounds with the press, which Larry can stop. Yeah, yeah. Brandon, you saying for Brandon, right? Because Brandon, yeah, Brandon pressed him 2 times, but it wasn't that which Larry couldn't stop. It because Larry was gassed out. Because the first 2 rounds he tried to hook him, he tried to press him, and Larry caught him. But then he got really really tired, and when you are tired, man, I think if I went against Larry, even I could beat him at that moment. I thought Larry would have won, but as soon as I see the King's move, I knew it was over. Yeah, me too. To be honest, me too. And to be honest, I have a group chat in in my phone, and everyone was watching it from home. And the first two, I see him struggling. I told him, or I told them that Larry's gonna lose, and that was it. Yeah. When you see someone with a King's move, just be worried. Okay. So we reset pressure. Devin will beat Levon. It depends. There are many factors that need to be in consideration. If if Devin shows up 145 kilos, it's like 300 plus pounds, there is a good chance that he can win. Yes, it's not because of his weight. It's one of the factors. And Devin is versatile. He can go everywhere. If this doesn't work for him, he can try another thing. He can try the King's move. He can try the press. But I think that if he works smart and he will be the heaviest, the strongest he will ever be, I think yeah, he has a chance. I think he has a chance of winning. I'm not saying I'm not saying that he will smoke Levon. Nothing of that. No. The only thing that if Devin smokes Levon is if he stops him, because 100% we all know Devin now. If he stops the match, if Devin stops the match, he won't go for the pin. He will make him gas out. If he makes him gas out, Levon is done. But to gas out Levon, you need tremendous horsepower. And at the minute, I don't see that from Devin. He's strong, but not there yet. Kersten, after your match with Bozhidar, you better ask him why King's move is not on wrestling and listen to what he says about it. Yeah, but I don't think that in my match there will be King's moves. So I don't think that in my match there will be a King's move. First of all, Bushi doesn't use it, and I don't use it either. So it's gonna be a good match. I have a game plan for that match, and I'm not there for the loss. I'm there for the win, big time. I will do a statement. I have this ready for Bozhidar. Um, yeah, it's gonna be a war because it's like, believe it or not, it's gonna be like Larry chasing Devin. It's gonna be like that because Bozhidar is the biggest fish there is in this category. And to be honest, I challenged Bozhidar into under 90 kilograms. So he pulls in 80 kilograms. So if he shows up 87, 88 kilograms, I will face the strongest and the heaviest Bozhidar ever. So I think it's gonna be a war for me. I need to work really, really hard. What's your opinion about the king's move or open top roll when shoulders are above the table? Do you do you think it's still fair if it's If it's above the table, it's okay. If it's under the table, we already know that it's it's illegal to do that. So and they explain it even in King of the Table. If your shoulder go below your elbow, it's a foul. So no, that if it's still if it's here like this, shoulder above the elbow, I think it's fine because sometimes when you top roll someone and he press you, you will end up like that. So what I do, I quit the game because I will end up in a king's move. No, as long as I keep my shoulder high and not going like under the table like this, and I believe that when um, Devon Kings moved Dave, there were a lot of fouls that hasn't been called from Devon. But it is what it is. It's history now. Because Devon was going too much under the table, too much. Even his shoulder were more under the table than above the table. So yeah, I think that should be a lot of fouls. Let's see what else we got. Mhm. You should show more of your workouts and maybe show us how often you're training, what different methods you're using. Good for beginners to see. Yes, I need to do more videos for beginners. Uh, I think I am a beginner as well because I'm in this sport 4 years, but I know what I'm doing now. I'm gonna test myself in 2 months. In 2 months, I'm gonna test myself in which level I'm at. I cannot say that I am a pro, although I've been training just for arm wrestling 4 years, consecutive every freaking day. But I will consider myself a pro or world class athlete when I will meet Bozhidar. If I succeed or I keep up with him, I will consider myself as a pro athlete. But for now, I don't need to look up there. It's okay with me, a beginner, because if I win, a beginner will beat the world champion. So yeah, I will do more videos for my training routine and how do I train. There are some videos there. If you scroll more down, the beginning of the videos I did, there are more, but I need to do more. I need to do like how you top roll, how you stop a top roll, how you hook, how you can stop a hooker, what's the best, how to set up the strap. Yeah, I think it's worth doing this even for newcomers in arm wrestling. What's your opinion about the King's move or open top? Okay, this already has been cleared. What's your weight? What's your weight be when you will pull Bozhidar? If I challenge him under 90 kilograms, I will be 89 kilograms. Maximum I can be is 89.9. I know that if I show up 92, Bozhidar won't give a damn because he is an animal and he doesn't care who's pulling as long as he is there. But I need to maintain my own rules. I challenged him under 90 kilograms, and if I show up 91 or 90, I'm breaking the rules. So I have to be maximum 89.9. At the minute, I am 90, 91. I'm there, but there are 2 months and I need to go down. And when I challenged Bozhidar, I was 97. So the thing is, when I challenged Bozhidar, I was 96, 97. I was here. Bozhidar was 79 because there was nearly 20 kilograms between us. let's say 17, 18 kilograms. Okay, now I'm going 8 and 9, and Bozhidar is coming up, so it's gonna be very, very close. So we'll see what's gonna happen. More. What should we know? All right. I know for the fact. All right, I know for a fact that Bozhidar has the same opinion as I do on real wrestlers. No, that's as well. All right, only social media champs like Larry Michael they promote it, and it's very bad for the sport. Probably yeah. Probably most of the arm wrestlers think it that way. Yeah, probably. Um, because when you are inside, techniques are involved, but a lot of strength is more involved. When you are in a king's move, it's more technical move, and the problem with the king's move is that many people see it as the person who is using the king's move is afraid from the other person. So, because what the king's move does is that gasses out your opponent. So people will think that you are afraid of pulling inside or top roll, normal top roll. Everybody has his perspective, how they tackle it and how they see the king's move. As I said, as long as it's there for me, it's it's legal. I can disagree with it, but it's there, and people are gonna use it if it's there. And someday I will face someone who has the king's move. The most important thing is not if he uses the king's move, because he can use whatever he wants. But the thing is how I will tackle the king's move, how I will manage to not let me go where he wants. And yeah, I'm prepared for everything. So height and don't cup. That's the most important thing if you want to win against the king's mover. Height, maintain the height, and don't try to cup him. Just lock your fingers. Don't try to cup. As soon as you try to cup and it's trying to go inside, you will bust your own wrist. So that if, if you are watching and you find someone in the next days, you're gonna pull someone with a king's move, just remember that Kersten said, "Don't try to cup a king's mover. Just stay there and always leave your forearm straight and maintain the height. And instead of cupping, just slide so you go into his pronation so he doesn't roll your wrist, and then try pull him back and top roll him. That's how you beat the king's move. Not with a freaking press. You will end up blowing your elbows. I might be wrong, but that's my opinion how you can beat the king's move. So I know, all right. Yes, and Michael Todd and Larry are promoting it. Really, really good. And I don't know if it's bad for the sport or not. What do you mean bad for the sport? Because bad for the sport, um, okay. So if someone new is watching arm wrestling and he's watching that, he's not gonna say, "Oh, it's cheating," because he doesn't know the rules of arm wrestling. So he will say, "Oh, how he's going, how he's holding him." So in that way, it's not bad. It's bad for the inside, for the athletes, because we let's face it, we all love when two titans collide inside or they have a good match. That's a fact. So yeah, if you are saying from that perspective, you are a bit right. Bush will be 80 or more. No, I think Bush that will be coming up, will be showing up heavier. Um, because I had to go down 8 kilograms, and he will go up. I think he will show up like 85, 85, 86. So there will be only just three, between 3 and 4 kilograms between us, and I don't think it's gonna bother him. So no, I don't think so. Just cut 2 kilograms of water weight. It's hard for me, man. It's hard for me. It's really hard. And it was already hard that I need to maintain my diet because I like food. I like food that much, and I'm a pig, and I am not, now I am just eating. When I started to feel like I'm full, I stopped eating. Before I used to continue with bread and eat. I ate even the rest of my girlfriends and the plate and everything. So yeah, it's hard for me. I love food. Food is a blessing thing for me. Thanks, replied all my questions already. Cheers, buddy. Glad you had all the questions. That's why it's Q&A, questions and answers. If you beat Bozhidar, you should challenge Sasho next. Sasho, guys, Sasha will be in my event, pulling with my good buddy Antoine. And Antoine will have his first pro match as well. So my event will be 26th of February, and it's not just me and Bozhidar. I am my match will be the main event. It's gonna be Prodigy arm wrestling super matches. It's gonna be promoted from this month. People will start promoting it because there were a lot of events coming out, going out, and I couldn't promote it. So from now on, I will start promoting really, really good. Um, Coach Ray is gonna be in Malta. He's going to commentate it live. Yanis Amolins, he will be our head referee. Um, we will have pre-matches. We have two pre-matches from the Maltese athletes, and then we will start with the event. First round, first match we'll have Braden Kutayar. He's my friend, and we don't have a federation here. We don't have federation. We don't have a club. We just train on our own, and we are challenging these monsters from Bulgaria. He will go against Todor Yordanov. I don't know if you guys know him, but he is a beast. The match will be under 75 kilograms. The second match, my good buddy Stefan from Serbia, he will be representing Malta. He is going against Zvetan Gashevsky. If you don't know who is Zvetan Gashevsky, he is a legend in this sport. He is the godfather of Bulgaria. He's going against that guy. Zvetan Gashevsky showed up in the WEF, the last WEF, this WEF of two weeks ago. He ended up in final with Bozhidar. So imagine how strong and good he is. And he's going against my good buddy. Then the third match, we have Sasha Andreev against my good buddy Antoine. It's going to be a good match, a really good match. That is the match you don't want to miss because Antoine is an inside puller and Sasha is an inside puller. So there will be no king's move at all. So make sure, guys, you subscribe first of all to my channel because I'm gonna air it live on my channel, and it's gonna be very professional. I can guarantee you that. I'm spending a lot of money in this, and I'm getting homeless for this. I hope I win at least. But yeah, it's something that I needed to do because we don't have a federation here, and I'm pushing a lot of in the sport, so people will start knowing about arm wrestling here in Malta. I think we are the only country we don't have a federation here, and I would love someday to go and compete in the WEF, but I cannot unless I have a federation. So that's why we are bringing the world champions here, and I would like to thank them because they agreed to come, because we will put awareness on Malta. If you beat Bozhidar, Sasha will be next. I don't know. I don't know who will be next if I beat Bozhidar. I don't want to aim that much high. I have Bozhidar for now, and I better concentrate on him. If I already start to see past him, It means that I'm not concentrating that much on Bozhidar. But yeah, I do have a target. If I beat Bozhidar, I already made a deal with Ryan Bowen. Um, if I win against Bozhidar, and if my good buddy Antoine wins against Sasha Andreev, he will challenge us instead of Bozhidar and Sasha. So, but I'm not relying on that. I just have Bozhidar and yeah, homeless because I'm spending a lot, man. I'm spending a lot of money, and yeah, I will do my best to win against Bozhidar, not just to go and challenge Ryan. It's just for myself. I want to make sure I want at least if I don't beat him, then I will make sure I will. I'm training to beat him, but I will give him a good run. And remember, he is the world champion. I am just new in the sport, so there is a huge gap in experience between us. Kersten, as I said, arm wrestling is about keeping your arm closed. If it's open, it means you are losing. However, these guys are weaker and used to win, not the king's move. Uh, yeah, as well. Yes. I agree. The tighter you are, the stronger you are, but not everyone works that way. Michael Dodd is strong here, and he's really strong there. Winner of Sasho and Antoine should pull Lachlan. Probably it's gonna be that way. Probably it's gonna be that way. Sasha was supposed to face Lachlan. Bojda was supposed to face Ryan Bowen. If we beat these guys, we will go and face the Australian arm wrestlers. That would be awesome. I'm wrestling these people to promote. It has more people involved in it now than it ever was. Matches recently have been great. Yes, I really agree with that. And I would really love to see arm wrestling coming up high, like the MMA, like the NBA, like any other sport that people will invest and we will have arm wrestlers full time. Because yeah, there are a lot of arm wrestlers that they are making a living with this, and I would love to see arm wrestling in that height. Yeah, I would really love to see arm wrestling there. It's been a long time, but I think it's getting there, but it's getting really, really slow. It's getting really slow, guys. And we'll see. We'll see. But I think it needs 10 years more to get more up. As long as there are not money involved, I don't think we will see it. We need good promoters. And at this moment, Larry is doing a very, very good job. So, the match between Devin and John. Couple of videos about it, and he explained very well why it's a total BS. As I said, many people think it's BS, the King's move. So yeah, it's normal for people to think that way. Because as I said before, King's move is just it making you see it making the vision of someone who's trying to escape because he is afraid, and in the meantime you will struggle to pin it. And yeah, I think I I I don't think it's BS because as I said, it's part of the game. But I would love to see more inside than or at least top rolls than a King's move. But it's part of the game and it's there for now. So Devin and John, guys. Wow, what an amazing first round! I really thought that John was gonna pull it off in that moment. I was shocked. I was like, "Who? Oh my god!" John was like this away, and to be honest, I don't think that Devin expected that John's gonna be this strong. No, I don't think. So there was a good manipulation in the setup. Uh, Devin is Devin is really smart in the setup. He has the height. Is John? We've seen John lifting his elbow up. We've seen him. We've seen him even touching and pulling Devin's hand down, and he's not supposed to do that, but he did it. That's called experience. So when you're pulling someone's down and they have the strap, you manipulated the strap. So, and then Devin was getting high. Devin's forearm is about like this longer than John. So that's why John was keeping his elbow off the pad. And Devin was always saying to the ref, tell him to put his elbow down. Tell him to put his elbow down. Yeah. If John, when Devin was this height and John was with his elbow lifted, if John pulled his elbow down, he would be in a huge disadvantage because he will does this with the strap and he will go further down. That's why he didn't pull his elbow down. And I believe so Devin was stronger, that's 100% sure. But I believe that the number one factor of this match was the setup. I think that the height of Devin was a really advantage for him, a really good advantage for him. Because to be honest, I don't think that if Devin was did not have that height, I don't think that he would still win against John, but not like that. I don't think no. It would have been more a war for for Devin. What do you think about Oleg facing Hermes in left? Uh, Guys, Oleg is strong. He's a phenomenal, but I don't think he's nowhere near where he used to be. After that accident he had in 2018, he's nowhere near. He's nowhere here where he used to be. And yeah, I don't think that we will see him. I don't think that we will ever see 2018 version. I don't know why. I don't know what's the problem, but something has that accident. Something has really caused. Man, Oleg was pulling huge amount of weight. He was pulling with the top athletes and not what with just his weight. He was he was pulling with the heavyweights and the super heavyweights. And if you see Bozhidar now, although he is the world champion in the left arm, still there were some guys who managed to stop him. These are guys who are 79 kilos, 77 kilos, 76 kilos. So no, I don't think that he is near where he used to be. So if you're asking me, Oleg facing Hermes in left, I would say Hermes. If Hermes is nearly as strong as his right, I would say Hermes, 100% now. But if there was the Oleg of 3 years ago, I would say Oleg with my eyes closed. So that's what really happened yesterday. We've seen a very great event again by King of the Table Tree, by Larry Wheels and Adam. Um, Devin always tried to steal the scene. he, I think Devin is doing a really good job for the sports. He's really pulling it off. He's always like to be the center of attention. But congrats to John, man. Congrats to John Brasink. Although he lost 4-0, to me, he's a winner. Because at 57 years of age, when you go and challenge someone that he is at his prime, I think Devin said that 2008 was his prime. I think that now, Devin, he's in his prime. To challenge someone when he is in his prime and you don't have fear, and you are 57 years of age and you just came from retirement, I think that's what makes you the great of all time. Um, I don't think that this will change anything from John's legacy. I don't think that it has any effect of his legacy. Because legacy you don't build in one match, but you build it throughout your career. And many people are saying that Devin is the new GOAT. Devin is great, but he is not the new GOAT. He will never replace John. What makes John so special is that wherever he been, he won. He won everything. He won every league, nearly all the super matches. He lost some super matches, but not that much. His record is here. The winning are here, and the losses are here. He's he's phenomenal. And when you see him coming up from retirement, man, just ask yourself, how old are you now, and where do you see yourself when you are 57 years of age? And you come back 57 years of age, you will be the strongest and the heaviest as well. That is impressive. We've never seen 115 kilograms John, and he said that he was feeling his strongest he's ever been, and I think he was really. I don't think if it was his strongest, but he was really strong. We've seen what he did in the last super matches with Dimitri Kichan and Chen Shaw, and Paul Lin. These are all youngsters and very strong athletes. So if I would be in 57 years of age, I won't be this strong. That's a guarantee. So um, from now we will wait for the release date of the King of the Table Tree. And who would you like to see pull there? I would really love to see Matt Mask and Hermes Gasparini, the tiebreaker, because Mask has won one and Hermes won. So I would love to see him, King of the Table Tree. I would love to see Devin versus Levon, and maybe we can see Ryan Bowen and RVJ as well. That would be a good match because it has to be done. King of the Table are really killing it. They are doing just three super matches, but it's not too long, it's not too short. People are just watching it. I think they are really killing it. Hats off to King of the Tables. So we'll see the last few comments before we go. What do you think about Levan Zginashvili? Is he number one? Right now, he's the number one. I think he is the number one right now. Yeah, I don't think that there is someone at the moment till today that he can stop him. Till today, because maybe tomorrow there will be someone, and that someone could be Vitali, could be Devin, could be Alex. I don't know, but for now, he's unbeatable. He is the number one in the world, and probably the the most person right now who can stop him is Vitali. I don't see anyone else right now. Devin needs to work really, really hard, and he needs to gain lot of weight to try and win against Levon. So Levon versus Devin, Larry versus Michaelo. Michaelo, I think it's too much for Larry at the moment. Michaelo, I think it's too much for at the moment for Larry. Larry needs to do more hard work in the technique, not in strength. Even when he hooks, he tries to hook side. He doesn't commit his shoulder. He doesn't pull back. He needs to work more on his genetics rather than his strength. So that was it, guys. I really, really appreciate that for the second time you are here with me. I would love that you subscribe to my channel. It would really, really help me. Um, uh, Hope I see you again when I go live. Thank you for your comments. I really appreciate your questions, and I enjoyed answering them. I will see you guys probably in the upcoming weeks. You will hear from me because I will be doing live streams with other people like Neil Pickup and everyone about my super match. So most of you will see me pretty soon. Thank you very much. And how Coach Ray says, keep strong and love our wrestling. See you guys.